Okay, today's Artho Economics, Foundation and Public Service Announcement, Chapter 5, Part 3. Cashing in checks and balances, highest return on investment of practicing qui tam law and or buying into champerity law as the economics of self-defense against corruption's deceptive forms. That in fact violate the Constitution, the rule of law, oaths of office, and or profession of as an attorney still owed under the following. The Fair Debt Collection Practice Act 2010, furnishing certain deceptive forms. Any person who violates this section shall be liable in the same extent and in the same manner as a debt collector is liable, especially when involving U.S. designated funding. The False Claims Act demands $2,000 times 3 is $6,000 for each and every count committed, each and every cause and effect, and counts committed thereafter. U.S. Racketeering Influence Corruption Organization Act, or RICO, demands the False Claims Act's $6,000 times another RICO's 3 equals $18,000 for each and every count committed, each and every cause and effect counts committed thereafter. This can be very lucrative for government treasuries. Government Code, Title II, Attorney Conduct, Section 82.0651, Civil Liability for Prohibited Barratry. Penalties in the amount of $10,000 times the False Claims Act's 3 is $30,000 times RICO's 3 is $90,000 for each and every count and each and every cause and effect counts committed by anyone's attorney. Plus Title 18 penalties, inflation adjustment. Our forefather went to a lot of trouble to keep corruption out. So each individual exhibit's counts fines times each and every 138 cause and effects counts of racketeering by happy hypocrites within filedevidence.com's Exhibit 10 alone countings, plus the economic treason of squandering funding and retribution that is still owed to government treasuries and still owed to the victims. For the highest return on your investment, especially government treasuries investments, qui tam prosecutions collections as Artho Economics basics of you tax and fine to discourage corruption and handouts. The tax-paying commoners are tired of paying for handouts to corruption, squandering the tax-paying commoners' funding of courts, especially when courts are hell-bound on persecuting, prosecuting, and punishing the victims out of business as economic treason versus reputable courts qui tam 30% paid to the victims to keep the victimized tax-paying commoners in business as positive cash flow economy, plus reputable courts qui tam 70% paid to government treasuries to keep the governments in the business of governing and as a positive cash flow economy. By qui tam cashing in on Randall County, Texas courthouses illegal, fraudulent filings and recordings within filed evidence first 10 exhibits and so many more coming soon, These deceptive forms that are in fact proved beyond a shadow of a doubt of funding that is still owed to Randall County's Treasury and to the victims. All Randall County land titles are now in question. It would be financially foolish not to cash in on qui tam's checks and balances to benefit the Randall County taxpaying commoners. Qui tam prosecutions, collections deposited into state and county treasuries to stimulate state and county economies funded by corruption. Qui tam's prosecution, collections deposited into other nations' treasuries to finance their trading imbalances, promote their nation's trading currencies for the highest return on their investment of other nations' stock exchanges and stimulating other nations' economies funded by corruption. Qui tam prosecutions, collections deposited into other nations, into international treasuries to promote an international currency funded by corruption. FiledEvidence.com's current international IPOs. Self-defense turns obstacles into marketing opportunities. As self-defense through qui tam and or champerty laws, poetic justice. As the self-defense of taxing corruption out of business. Or the court landmarks decisions as international new case law and ethic changes involving U.S. designated funding stay enforceable as your get out of jail free card. Again, if you're caught red-handed in like-kind Randall County, Texas, illegal filings and recordings in FiledEvidence.com's Exhibit 1 through 10, and or in the current like-kind illegal filings and recordings against an incapacitated Alzheimer's elderly patient and like-kind insurance fraud, cases being decided in Randall County, Texas, as we speak. The light side isn't always what it seems, but the dark side does have silver linings.